Hello everybody. So I have some guests on the channel.
Hello.
This is...
Oh, hi, I'm Scott.
My name is LJ.
So these are my castmates on our tour. So we wanted to do a little vlog today about touring life, touring multiple shows, touring in schools, and all of the pros and cons and challenges and good things about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it's different, isn't it? It's different to talk to being in one place, being in a theatre.
Yeah.
Yes.
Things that you wouldn't necessarily think to ask, or even that when you're doing auditions that people might not know to tell you. That's just kind of good to know that you don't really find out until you do it.
Yeah. Do you have something that you wished you'd known before embarking on like your first tour?
How exhausting the travel can be.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point actually. Travel is really, really tiring, especially when you're driving.
Yeah.
And
if there's traffic.
You need to look after the driver, definitely.
We've all been very good. People bought me chocolate and stuff after long journeys. It was very nice.
Also, if you're not a driver and you're a passenger, yes, it can be tiring for you, but one, don't take it out on the driver, and two, don't backseat drive.
No.
Because there is nothing more
to
stressful to the driver than having somebody think that they know better.
Yes.
And sort of like, or trying to give them directions.
One very helpful thing is Scott is kind of my co-pilot in my car, and he will always have the postcode ready, and he'll pop it in the sat nav. It's like a little thing like that. I don't have to worry about figuring out where I've got to go or anything like that.
Yeah.
Scott does it, and it's just, it kind of halves the load, and I just have to get in and chauffeur.
I think that's the biggest thing that the thing that's the most important thing about touring is you're a company anyway, whatever company you're in. But I think in a touring company, you are a company and you're super close knit, and you need to be a team. Like you really need to look out for one another, and you need to equally contribute, and you need to really think about the other people you're with, almost more than yourself, because you need to look after. It's really hard work, and you need to take care of each other. So anything you can do to make that another person's life a bit easier on tour, I think is great.
Another thing to remember, especially when on tour, is the fact that everybody isn't just being an actor. You're doing all the other jobs as well.
Yes.
One, obviously, because when you're in a theatre, you've got the set team, you've got the backstage crew,
a whole production team.
Yeah, but when you're on tour, you are all those people.
Yeah.
And so the buck starts and stops with you, and everybody will naturally find their role within that team. But it's just.
But you need to be prepared to take on the tech, or put a backdrop up, or set costumes out if somebody can't
set out your seating. It's nothing worse than turning up to a school hall and you've got 200 kids and no seats are out, and you literally have like
half an hour.
Half an hour to get 200 seats out. Yeah. Whilst you're running your monologues,
and warming up.
That's it. That's actually, I would say, try if you can warm up in your hotel room or wherever you are before you go, or on the journey, because often you get to the school and it's so busy setting up, and like you said, if the chairs haven't been set out, you may not have time to warm up your voice. So be prepared to get up even earlier to warm up your voice, and even just to be more awake, so you're kind of prepared for when you get to schools. Yeah, I think that's something that you just need a lot more time. Do you know what I mean? You need more time to get ready. Yeah. Okay, what else? So, do you have any kind of top tips for touring? What would be your top tips?
Well, at the moment, not that you can really say, I don't think you're advertising it anyway. We're in
hotel of a certain name.
Yeah. We are lodging somewhere where one may journey. Or I don't know.
No product placement here.
Or travel, you know.
Yeah.
Which is hard. Sometimes you get put up in like Airbnbs or theatre digs, that sort of thing, which is good because you have your own kitchen and you can just like buy food. And what was nice, like did group cooking, where one person would cook each night and stuff like that, and so you keep the cost down. When you don't have like a a hotel fridge or anything. You literally have to eat out so much that you end up like kind of eating into your your wages, and also you don't get a good choice of having good healthy food and like a well balanced meal, because near us is a Greggs and a Burger King. So not ripe for healthy
options when you find them.
But so we've got a couple of little things. We bought one of these teeny tiny mini fridges so that we can get little milk. So in our window, if it's cold, we're able to keep the milk by the window, which keeps it chilled enough. And then like we bought cereal. And a couple of plastic bowls and stuff, so that we can we can have our lunch every day. Our breakfast. Always breakfast. But just trying to be able to buy stuff that you can keep in the room. And
dried stuff is good. I have little porridge pots. Protein shake is good. Little things that you can will last for a while, and you can sort out in a hotel
mug shots, cup of soups are really good. Get a giant mug.
And like you said, keep things on the window fridge.
Yep.
Window fridge is always useful.
So,
what do you think is different about, because we're touring in schools, so we're not going to theatres necessarily, we're going into schools and performing for large groups of students. So what would you say is different about that compared to performing for an adult audience?
Scott's done so many more schools.
One of the things I think to bear in mind with school kids as an audience is they have not paid to see you.
Yes, that's a really good point.
They don't have the
excitement, interest.
No, they haven't.
No, you know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Investment.
But yes, they haven't made the financial investment to see the show.
Yeah.
So to them, you are literally an escape from maths or an escape from science or English or whatever class it may be that they're getting out for an hour and a half from.
You have to win them over, don't you?
Yes, you're immediately fighting against the fact that they are likely to, some of them will be interested, some of them will be engaged.
Yeah.
But more often than not, you will come across groups of students that will treat you as a free period.
Yeah.
So you have to win them over very quickly.
Yeah, you definitely have to win them over. It's a bit like kind of gaining their respect almost. You have to get that you have to get that quite soon, and expect them to laugh at things that you wouldn't expect a normal audience to laugh at, or react in ways you wouldn't expect your average adult audience to laugh at, because they take things differently to an adult audience. And you have to I think you have to not take that personally.
Yes.
And remember, it's not about you. It's just their kind of reaction, and you have to kind of carry on regardless. So you have to stay quite focused, I think.
Oh yes. Yeah. As I was told once by a director friend of mine, if you can win over and sustain the attention of a group of school students, any adult audience that you come across in your lifetime will be a walk in the park. It will be a piece of cake. Because they are the hardest group of the hardest audience to actually gain and sort of like win over. Yeah. So they can be.
And it's
quite a
amazing
challenge.
when it happens though. Like today was so amazing when the audience was won over. We'll be back in a moment when we bring in Rich. Keep talking about